Picture this. The year is 2135. You're a handsome cyborg mercenary on yet another corporate contract. You're beyond the safety of the city walls, out in the wild and brutal dead sectors. You're walking through a centuries-old street. Everything's going fine. Suddenly, you're hit in the chest with a metal sabot traveling 6,000 miles an hour. Before you know it, scavengers are harvesting your body for synthetic organs to sell on the black market. Man-portable railguns, they're no joke. You'll never see them coming. Everyone knows the only counter for a railgun is, of course, another railgun. Today, I'm going to show you how I set up mine for dangerous dead sector operations. I know you've seen this thing before. This is my SRU SNP-10 Airsoft sniper rifle. It's a JG-10 spring-powered airsoft gun in a 3D printed body kit made by Strike Precision Union. Now, we did an exhaustive review on this thing a couple of years ago that you can go watch now. This build is focused all around mobile interference style gameplay. Basically, when I take this thing out to an airsoft game, I like to sneak around in the woods, take shots at unsuspecting players, hide, and then move. In order to do that, this thing's got to be fast, easy to handle, and most of all, consistent. When I pull the trigger, I need to know that that BB is going exactly where I want it to. I might not have a chance to take a second shot. I've used this airsoft gun for several years at this point, so I can comment more accurately on what it's like to actually use it. Because it's 3D printed, it does feel a little bit lighter than the body that the gun usually comes with, but it's chunkier. There's just a lot more material and it has a larger profile overall. Laying down on the ground and firing from a prone position isn't as easy as it would be if you were using a conventional rifle platform. But I didn't put this thing in a 3D printed body kit just for usability. This thing looks freaking sweet. Plus, it's got a bunch of rails for extra attachments. You know I love that. But of course, it's not all about looks. It's what's inside that really matters. This is still very much a work in progress. The build is mainly focused around the barrel and hop-up assembly right now. I haven't really touched the piston or the trigger. Those are stock from the original gun. I have installed an Action Army barrel and hop-up unit. The hop-up unit is CNC'd and it meshes perfectly with the barrel. And what's the secret sauce for devastating accuracy? A Maple Leaf 60-degree bucking. It offers more contact with the BB than a regular bucking, and it has a more consistent flight pattern. Check out the link in the description for an awesome video on why Maple Leaf buckings are amazing upgrades. I don't really understand the science behind it, but when I first started this build, it was extremely helpful. Now, I'm not an expert on VSR-10 builds, but there's an upgrade I commonly see. It's a thing called a zero trigger. It's more durable than what most VSR-10s come with, and if you're using a stronger spring, it makes your bolt pull a lot easier. And because of the shape of the trigger box, it won't actually fit inside this body kit. It's kind of a bummer, but what are you gonna do? I use a Magpul angled foregrip. Using this allows me to choke up on the rifle and aim easily from a standing or kneeling position. Now, when I play sniper, I like to move around to keep the enemy guessing, so I'm not usually lying down in one place for long. Using an AFG allows me to get a comfortable grip so I can aim fast and take quick follow-up shots. No airsoft sniper rifle is complete without a good optic. For this, I've chosen an NC Star rangefinder scope. This thing's got 3 rails that I use to attach my scope cam when I'm recording gameplay. It's also got a cool reticle. One of the drawbacks is that it's kind of heavy, but it matches the sci-fi aesthetic of the gun, and it's got a 9x zoom. It does the job. Now, something that's kind of an internal and external upgrade is the metal bolt handle. Now, if you've seen the review that we made for this, you know that this body kit ships with a 3D printed bolt handle. That's fine if you're gonna use the stock spring, but if you're using something heavier, that stock handle actually runs the risk of breaking. Luckily, SRU has a CNC metal replacement for just such an occasion. Now, I do kind of wish that they just sent this thing with the body kit, because if you're upgrading a VSR-10, at some point you're gonna try and upgrade the power. Just doesn't really make sense to me. All right, we gotta talk magazines. VSR-10 mags, they suck in this thing. They don't feed, they're too big, so they don't fit. They're awful. That's why I am gonna tell you about a little secret I figured out. This is a JG M700 mag. Now on EVIC, they say that these are not for VSR-10s, but in my experience, these are the best mags for this particular body kit. They're shorter than the regular VSR-10 mags. So you can see that they're not gonna butt up against the mag well. In my experience, they don't have any problem feeding. Now, you are gonna have to modify them initially because they have a plastic lip around the edge. I took a piece of fine grit sandpaper, and in 10 minutes, I had made it a perfect fit. A little disclaimer, it does say explicitly that these are not for VSR-10s, so I cannot guarantee that you will have the same experience. All I'm saying is I have had the best experience with these JG M700s. So don't get mad at me. All right, we're gonna shoot this thing. We have a tactical vest from my personal collection set up there. Let's say that's roughly, I don't know, 80 feet. It's far enough away so that if we hit it, it'll be impressive. What do you want from me? Let's shoot it. That's a hit. That's a hit. It feels so good. Ah, it's so cool. This is just my favorite. It's just awesome. It's a different feeling when you've put the work into actually upgrading it yourself, and then you pull the trigger and you see that BB just go boop. Oh, that's a great feeling. Make your own airsoft guns. Oh, do the upgrades. It's fun. It's just awesome. Because sometimes you get stuff like this. This thing isn't even fully upgraded and it's still driving nails. It's awesome. That's all I got to say. Of course, I missed on the last one. The SNP-10 is one of my favorite airsoft guns to use. And it's still a work in progress, so there may be a part 2 update at some point in the future. But what do you think about the SNP-10? Would you run it? What changes would you make? Let me know in the comments. Corporate approved patches are still available on Dash Patch. We've got some updates about a new website and Patreon rewards coming soon. Stay corporate approved.